So on to reports. Technology Committee, February 10.
Technology Committee was very short and simple. We went over firewall replacement for our main server system. We upgraded to revised firewall, a little bit at cost, about $2,000 more, but it should cover us with a 10 gig capacity. So it was a good addition. And that was it.
Questions, board members? Policy and curriculum. Paul.
That was also a fairly short meeting. Looked at a couple of policies. Curriculum organization development, the services for English language students and procedures. That's English language as a second language, right? And retention of students. And that was pretty much it. A little bit about the extracurricular activity. That was pretty quick. We were done by 6:22, so 15 minutes.
Any questions for Paul? On to personnel and finance, back to Dan.
Went over lunch program update. We agreed to move this to board meeting, which was a special board meeting after, and the lunch program at that special board meeting was voted to remove ourselves from the FDA approved lunch program and go on our own, thereby having the ability to offer more choice and lower costs than the FDA program. We also discussed bidding this out, having the new bids being outside the FDA program, having the new bid incorporate a reduced and free lunch program, and limiting the cost to the district at $20,000 or less. We went over a teacher's salary presentation, which was done very well by a subcommittee group that includes the teachers and admin in there. And we went over the check ledger and the budget. Everything's looking good in the budget, and that was it.
Questions of Dan, anyone?
I would just like to add that we had lots of involvement by the teachers from that committee. Their input is directly involved in the structure of that program.
And we're very appreciative.
They did a lot of hard work.
I'll report on the WASB convention in Milwaukee on January 22nd. Just briefly, because you've all seen my email. Tony Evers spoke. He says the voucher schools are a big problem without having accountability. He noted that he was very disturbed about a national survey where 30% of teachers said they wouldn't do it again. Dr. Rabowski, he's the president of the University of Maryland. He was outstanding. And he says, of course, we need to inculcate a hunger for knowledge in our kids. We need to set ultra-high expectations from our teachers and then have them set the same for the children. He laments that school news is always about sports. We need to constantly promote excitement and publication for academic achievement. I visited the Wisconsin School of Public Relations. I have information I passed along to Chris. I visited with Specialized Data Systems. They're a competitor to Skyward, and they say they're far superior to Skyward, so I passed information along to see if there's any interest on our part. I visited with Education Media. They're headquartered in Hartford, and they place really cool signage on school walls with no cost to the schools. In fact, schools get a 30% commission. and it engages the community, community support, and it looked really cool. Anyway, I passed information along to Chris on that. I visited with the NEOLA, that's the Northeast Ohio Learning Associates. Why are we interested in Northeast Ohio Learning Associates? I know that we subscribe to the WASB website, database website. But I did know that when I visited with them that WUHS is one of their customers, their clients. So I passed that information along to Chris to determine if there's any value in that. I saw Airmark, and they certainly want to be included when we put our lunch program out for bid. I visited with Milwaukee Public Museum. Many one-time programs, 3D theater offerings, virtual field trips, Dr. Van Hagen's Body World plastination process opened on February 7th, runs through June 15th. It's only $10 per student, and it is certainly a must-see. I'm sure that Fox River is going, but certainly it's appropriate for our grade schools too. I know that perhaps PTO could do some sponsoring of this. I attended a session on improving school and community climate. The district superintendent of the Hayward School District noted that he will only employ teachers who really like to be around kids. They publicly celebrate small success every week. They center on academics and arts, not sports. And I attended a session on responding to public records requests hosted by the WSB Staff Council. And I have notes that could be helpful here, and we can discuss this further in closed session. End of report. Questions? WSEC budget report. Doug.
Chris and I met with up at the high school on February 4th to go over the preliminary consortium budget. They will have more accurate budget numbers in their April and in their final ones on the June book. Right now there is a 1.1 increase in the total budget. Ours is going to be $1,149,828.81, which is up from the $1,141,830.21. Keith is proposing a 2% increase in salaries for all the people in the consortium. There was some question as to how long we had the post-retirement health care for the intervention specialist that originally started with us. There's 3 more years left at $10,000 a year. Early childhood screening was being held that day. They said for the past 2 years they had 7 students in both years. This year they have 22 students there. In fact, they had to get an extra speech teacher in there to help go over it. So we might be having a little more increase in the budget on that. That's my report for right now.
Thank you, Doug. Questions? Yeah.
Not necessarily a question, more observation. I think that we set preliminary budget needs to go to finance for review, for recommendation back to WESA.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to 1.1%. I am opposed to a 2% across the board for the staff. Our staff did not receive a 2%. So I'm a little opposed to giving WESA again more than our staff always receives. Now they've gotten consecutive increases above the Waterford grading district and the other feeder schools for a number of years now. I think one of these years they can have equal to or less than what Waterford grading is doing.
Right, no grades be enough.
Thanks.
One other thing Chris did bring up about if they have trouble getting teachers, would they pay more to keep a teacher? And Keith said basically no. If I remember right, he said this is what we pay them, that's it. We will not pay them extra to keep them in our district. We have a good environment, so we shouldn't have a problem.
Good to hear. So our March 10th TNF then, we will have that on the docket. And next on the docket is citizen input. And just for the benefit of someone who might be new to this, this is the opportunity to speak directly to the board. A time limit of 3 to 5 minutes to address the board is provided. The official timekeeper will be a member of the administration team. The opportunity is provided to allow you to address the board directly, and it's not intended to be a one-on-one conversation. If the information that you're presenting is directly related to an information or action item that is on the agenda, you're certainly invited to stay and hear the board discuss the item. If your comments need future board discussion, they will be placed on a future agenda. Criticism of individual administration personnel or individual board members is not acceptable. You must be aware that you are attending an official school board meeting being held in public. It is not a public meeting. With that said,